guys, this is Kayla.
And this is Becky, and we're with a couple of Bees Read.
And today we are doing our weekly wine.
Yes.
So what is the weekly wine, Becky?
This is a wine that I've never had wine from this winery before, although Scout Cellar has carried it before, and it is a beautiful bottle. I may have to save it. I love that label. It's Nico, and it is from Argentina, and it's one of your favorite wines. It's a Malbec.
I love Malbec.
Yes, you do. And I'm anxious to try it, just from the description of it.
Look at that beautiful color.
Oh, I know.
It matches my lipstick.
It does. Oh, it smells wonderful.
Is that blackberry?
Not blackberry.
Or black cherry.
Yes.
There we go. There we go.
Yes.
It was something deep.
Yes, it's like dried black cherry, and maraschino cherries. You know how you've got one that's a little sweet, and then other ones are a little tart. So it's kind of a mixture of that, and some plum, some spice.
It's really good.
Okay, one of the things it said, and I thought, I'm not too sure about that. It says, and because it was telling what the notes of it was, and it said tobacco, and I'm like, ugh. But I see what they mean. If you taste it, that little aftertaste, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And I'm not like stale cigarette smoke or anything like that. But you can kind of, it gives you, I don't know, a hint of, someone smoking a really good
cigar.
Yes.
Yeah, like one of those really expensive cigars, but it's not overwhelming. So, not like the Alabama-Tennessee game this year.
Okay, no, not like that. Yeah. But even in the stadium, it was like, whoosh.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's great wine. It really is. And we don't always have this wine. So if you want it, now is the time to get it. And it is, it's called Malbec 2021 by Mendizo, Argentina. And it has a Syrah grape, Barbera, and Zinfandel. So it's a mixture of all of those. So this is a wonderful wine. Of course, it pairs well with just about anything. One of the things it said it paired well with was grilled chicken, but any type of grilled meat. Really, a good charcuterie board would be marvelous.
Where's our charcuterie board?
I'm sorry, we don't have one today. Need to go to the grocery store. But pick you up a bottle of this clean crafted wine. And remember, no pesticides, no additives, wonderful wine. So what book are we reviewing today to go with our marvelous wine?
Today I'm super excited to be reviewing The Bottom Line by Tobie Carter. And one reason I'm excited is we actually get to interview Tobie Carter, and we will be posting that video next week. Her publication date is the 14th, so next Thursday. So if you haven't pre-ordered this book yet, those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I've been promoting this like crazy because it is so good. I'm going
to order the book. You have it on Kindle, and me, I prefer the real thing. I want to hold the book. I don't really want to. I like my Kindle, but I prefer the real book.
So y'all go ahead, pre-order this. It's an amazing book. So The Bottom Line, this is a romance novel. So those of you who watch this vlog, you're like, what is Kayla doing right now? I do read romance sometimes, and I enjoy it sometimes. And this one really stood out to me because, and I've mentioned this sometimes before, I don't feel like the romance, I don't feel like any genre necessarily deals well with mental health, especially of men. It's still such a stigma for men to seek therapy, to seek counseling, to seek help, because they're supposed to be strong, and they don't need that sissy stuff. I've literally heard that said by older generations of men. I've even read that in some fiction. And this book, the main one of the main characters is a man who wants to break from that tradition, and he struggles to do that.
Right.
So before I launch into that and all the reasons I love this book, I want to actually tell you what it's about first.
Okay.
So the bottom line, you've got your main character, Stella Daniels, who put her competitive finance career on hold to help save her grandfather's funeral home. So this family business, she's willing to help Grandpa, to be with her pop. And she's such a fun, quirky character. She's got some hilarious lines. I think one of them was, like, if I don't die by the end of this conversation, like, because someone's just taking so long to get to the point. Like, she's so smart and so funny. And while at the funeral home, she meets with this rude customer who was rude to her grandfather, and it is Jameson Brooks, who she doesn't know is actually her boss's illegitimate son, who her boss has sent for him to come in from London to potentially take over the business. So all of a sudden, this guy comes in and he is competing with Stella in this finance company. And he comes off as very arrogant and a little bit of a jerk, but it's because of his own trauma and his past, and you get her point of view and his point of view. And when you're reading his point of view, you realize he actually, like, he wants to get help. He wants to go to therapy. But his dad, their boss, is, you know, this old school mindset of, no, that makes you weak. No, this handle your problems and move on. Work should be the most important thing.
Right.
And his dad just ends up being a delightful character, as you can tell from that. Just, grates on my nerves. But by the end, Stella, being the spunky, awesome main character that she is, and Jameson kind of find their way to each other. It's a beautiful, like, enemies to lovers romance, which I've seen done really well, and I've seen done in a way that I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. It makes sense here. It is probably the best enemies to romance I've ever read. So, I mean, you know how much romance I read, but still, it's very, very well done. And it deals with topics that are important. And I never thought I'd say this about a romance book, but I think this is the most important book I've read of the year.
Wow.
Because it deals so well, so thoroughly, and so intellectually, while also making you feel. Like, there were points I had chills when I was learning about his trauma and seeing how Stella, once she learns what's going on with him, how she helps him and deals with him and comes to care for him, because she sees, you know, she sees his weakness, but she sees that he's willing to deal with that for himself. And it is, I'm getting chills now talking about it. It's such a good read and such a beautiful love story. By all means, pick it up. We're going to get to meet with Tobie next Wednesday. And then Thursday, the book comes out. So if you haven't bought this yet, definitely check it out.
Yes.
It is enemies to lovers romance. It's got slow burn. It deals with mental health issues. And, it's got some spicy scenes. It's got some spice. So if you enjoy any of that, pick it up. Such a good read. But yeah, this easiest 5 stars I've given so far this year. Like, great book.
That's encouraging. I like that. All right. Well, pick the book up and come back and listen to our interview with Tobie.
Right. Bye, guys.